In 1919, it would have been difficult to find two officers more different from one another than Lieutenant Colonel Dwight D. Eisenhower and Colonel George S. Patton, Jr. Whereas Eisenhower grew up poor in Abilene, Kansas, Patton came from a wealthy, almost aristocratic family whose ranch was so large that it was eventually donated to found the city of Pasadena, California. While Eisenhower and his four brothers labored every day at chores to maintain their shabby house, the Pattons had more than a dozen servants and raised purebred cattle and blooded horses. Eisenhower's parents were committed pacifists, whereas the Pattons boasted a rich military heritage. And like the character Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, Patton could boast of having an ancestor killed in almost every American war. Whereas Eisenhower had been an undistinguished cadet, but very popular, Patton was the polar opposite. His junior year, he was named adjutant of the Corps of Cadets, but was mocked by his classmates for his obvious and overweening ambition, and he had no close friends. Whereas Eisenhower did little to distinguish himself during the years between his commissioning and World War I, Patton had attained a measure of celebrity and appeared destined for high command. He had competed in the Olympics. During the punitive expedition in Mexico, he'd led a raid that killed the head of Pancho Villa's bodyguard. Finally, during World War I, Eisenhower was stuck stateside, toiling in an unglamorous but very important, very necessary position, creating and commanding the Army's tank school. Patton, on the other hand, got to actually lead the tanks into battle and returned from France wearing a full colonel's eagles with his Distinguished Service Cross, 4 battle stars, and the French Croix de Guerre on his chest. Yet when Eisenhower and Patton finally met in 1919, they became very close friends very quickly.